Guys, I've never had a fishing trip like this in my life, and God willing, I never will again. My buddy Alex and I, we've known each other since school, have been planning this trip for a long time. Somewhere far south, out in the wild, away from the city, just to fish, relax, breathe. We found this tiny lake on some old maps, completely cut off from civilization. Nothing but open steppe and endless sunflower fields around it. Back then, it seemed perfect. We arrived close to sunset. The sun, a huge red disk, slowly sank below the horizon, painting the sky in colors you could put on canvas. The air was thick, heavy, smelling of dry herbs and something faintly sweet, almost intoxicating. We set up the tent on a small rise near the water, cast our lines, lit a fire. Pure peace. Alex cracked open a beer, telling stories, and I just sat there watching the floats, feeling months of tension slowly melt away. The place was truly remote, not a soul for miles, just us, the lake, and the endless field stretching into nothingness. Though, on the way in, I did notice something. Far off, at the edge of the field, strange shapes, small mounds, and what looked like crooked crosses. I didn't think much of it at the time. Out here, you can see all kinds of things. We had a good evening, even caught our first fish, a mirror carp, about 3 pounds. Alex started nodding off, and I wasn't far behind. We decided to turn in. The fire had nearly died out, only glowing embers staring like red eyes into the dark. And that's when, guys, everything started. I woke up from a strange feeling, like someone was watching me, not casually, intently, heavily. Inside the tent, it was pitch black. I could only hear Alex breathing beside me. I listened. Silence. Even the crickets had stopped. Only the wind moved through the field, rustling dry grass. But the sound felt wrong, like something unseen was moving. Stepping carefully. Just imagining things, I thought, turning onto my side. But sleep was gone. I lay there listening to the darkness, a cold chill crawling down my spine. And then I heard it, a whisper, very quiet, right outside the tent. I couldn't make out the words, but the tone. It was soft, coaxing, almost pleading, the kind that makes your skin crawl. The hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. I nudged Alex. "Hey, you hear that?" He grumbled something in his sleep. "Alex, wake up," I said louder. "There's someone out there." He finally opened his eyes. "What is it?" he muttered. "You dreaming or something?" "No, I'm telling you, someone's whispering outside. Listen." We froze, and there it was again, a faint whisper, barely audible. This time, from the other side. Alex heard it too. I couldn't see his face in the dark, but I felt him tense up. "Maybe some locals, drunk or something," he said, unsure. "Out here? Seriously? We're miles from the nearest town." The whispering stopped, but the silence that followed was worse. It pressed in on us, thickened, became almost physical. And then we heard something else, a sound that made my blood run cold, a scraping noise, long, drawn out, disgusting, like something scratching against the tent fabric, with long nails. "Who's there?" Alex shouted, trying to sound tough, but his voice cracked. No answer. Then the scraping again, louder this time, more insistent. I grabbed the flashlight and switched it on. The beam cut through the darkness, lighting up our terrified faces and the trembling walls of the tent. Nothing. But the feeling of being watched didn't go away. It only got stronger. The air inside the tent turned cold, damp, like a cellar. And that smell, the same sweet, heavy scent I noticed earlier, was now overwhelming, sickly, rotting. We should check outside, I whispered hoarsely, even though every part of me screamed not to. Are you insane? Alex grabbed my arm. Stay here. And then the tent suddenly shook, like something had thrown its weight against it from outside. We both screamed. Alex pulled out his hunting knife. I grabbed my folding blade. We sat there, pressed together, staring at the zipper, the flashlight shaking in my hand. And then, the zipper started to move, slowly, very slowly, from the outside, on its own, inch by inch. Behind it, nothing but pitch black darkness and silence, dead silence. My heart was pounding so hard it felt like it would burst out of my chest. My hands were shaking, the knife trembling in my grip. Alex was breathing heavily beside me. When the zipper opened halfway, something appeared in the gap. At first, it was just a shadow, darker than the night itself. Then it took shape. A figure, tall, thin, stretched. Wrong somehow. No face, just a silhouette against the faint glow of the sky. It stood there for a moment, then slowly began to force its way inside. We screamed. Not just screamed. We howled. Raw, desperate, beyond anything human. Alex threw his knife. It missed, landing somewhere in the grass. The figure didn't react. It kept coming. I raised the flashlight and pointed it straight at it. I wish I hadn't. It was a woman, an old woman, dressed all in black in some ancient, decayed dress. Her face, parchment-like, stretched tight over bone, with deep, hollow eye sockets. And inside those sockets, there was nothing. Black, bottomless, pulling you in. Her lips were barely there, just a dark slit twisted into a horrible, toothless grin. That same sickening smell came from her. Rot, damp earth. She reached out toward us, a bony hand, long yellow nails like claws. Come, with me. Her voice creaked, inhuman, like rusted hinges. We backed against the rear wall of the tent. There was nowhere to run. And then I remembered. Those mounds, those crosses, a cemetery, an old abandoned graveyard. The farmstead that once stood here was long gone, leaving only its dead behind, and we had set up camp right at their doorstep. The old woman moved closer, and behind her, in the opening of the tent, I saw others, many of them, standing silently in the dark, watching, cold, grave cold. Get back, you demon, Alex shouted and lunged at her. She didn't even move, just waved her hand, like brushing away a fly. Alex flew back into the tent wall and went limp. I knew then. This was the end. Fear swallowed me whole. I couldn't think, could only watch as she came closer, as those empty sockets stared straight into me. And suddenly, I don't even know how, I grabbed the back zipper of the tent and tore it open. It jammed, resisted, then gave way. I fell out into the wet grass, got up and ran. Didn't care where, just away. Away from that cursed place. Behind me, I heard it. A howl, many voices, not human, freezing my blood. I didn't dare look back. I ran until I couldn't anymore. My legs buckled, my lungs burned. Shadows moved around me, between the trees, across the ground, trying to cut me off. I saw them, half-rotten figures, men, women, even children, faces twisted in eternal suffering, darkness leaking from empty eyes. They reached for me, groaned, whispered. I fell, scraped my knees. The flashlight flew from my hand into the dark. I got up, ran again. I could feel them behind me, their breath, their cold touch. I don't know how long I ran. At some point, the sound stopped. I slowed, listened. Silence, only the wind. I looked around, the field, and in the distance, our car. But Alex, I remembered him lying there, couldn't leave him. I turned back, went toward the tent, slowly, carefully, like a scout, heart pounding. When I got close, I saw them. They were standing around it, in a circle, all of them, the dead, empty-eyed, in rotting clothes. From inside the tent came sounds, soft, broken, moans, or sobs, and something else, a deep, sick laughter. I understood. It was over. I couldn't help him anymore. If I went there, I'd join him. Fear won. I ran to the car. My hands were shaking so badly, I could barely get the key in. The engine roared to life. I slammed the gas. Didn't look in the mirror. I was afraid of what I'd see. I drove blindly until I hit the highway. Only then I stopped, shaking. I don't know what happened to Alex, and I don't want to know. It's been years since then. I never go to places like that anymore. And if I see abandoned villages, old graveyards, I stay away, because some places should never be disturbed.